Good afternoon. My name is Freiya Havewala. I'm 18 years old and a student at the Bishop's Junior College, Kent. I enjoy reading, writing, music, making jewelry and baking, and I hope you enjoy my ATCL exam today. First, I will be introducing and thanking the speaker at the graduation ceremony of New York University for the class of 2023. Good morning, everybody. This year, as your valedictorian, I am honored to introduce our guest speaker. Our speaker today has broken almost every single record in music. Beginning at the age of 14, she brought country music to a whole new demographic with her debut album. Her second album, Fearless, won her first Album of the Year to Grammys, making her the youngest artist at the time to have ever won the award. Her third album, Speak Now, was written entirely by herself, and her fourth album, Red, gave us her most well-known and well-loved song, All Too Well. Her fifth album, 1989, gave us hits such as Blank Space and Shake It Off, and brought her second Album of the Year. Her sixth album, Reputation, brought her out of a disaster that would have ruined any other artist's career. Post-Reputation, she split ties with Big Red Machine, the recording company she worked with for her first 6 albums, and rather than accepting the loss of her life's work, chose to re-record her masters and own her work. Her seventh album, Lover, was recorded after the split and is to this day one of her most popular. Post-Lover came Folklore, which won her third album of the year and was recorded during the COVID pandemic. Her next album, Evermore, and her 10th and most recent album, Midnights, recently broke Spotify due to the sheer amount of streams it received. But she isn't just another pretty girl with a guitar, as her philanthropy has proven to impact society for the better. Her work with the LGBTQ+ community, as well as her work against sexual assault and donations to fans and people in need, have proven that she doesn't just have a good voice, but a good heart. So, are you ready for it? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Taylor Swift. Thank you, Ms. Swift, for your intelligent and inspiring words. You've kept us all wonderstruck, and we were enchanted to meet you today. Thank you for being here with us and for sharing your journey to the big stage. You say how proud you are that you are here, and we say how proud we are that you are. Thank you for being here, and congratulations on your doctorate once again. And don't worry, after the ceremony, we'll all be dancing like we're the class of 22. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up one last time for Taylor Swift. Next, I will be giving an after-dinner speech at the reunion for the class of 2020 at Callum High School. If I could have everyone's attention, please. Good evening, everyone, and again, welcome to the reunion of the class of 2020. It's wonderful to see so many people here, and it's so lovely to see you all again after so long. As you know, or at least I hope you know, considering that we were classmates for at least 6 years. My name is Freiya Havewala and I am the organizer of today's event. To begin with, I would like to hope that you all had a lovely dinner and that you haven't taken too much advantage of the open bar. I would also like to thank the Boat Club for allowing us to use their beautiful venue and Vicky's for catering. I'm sure we can all agree that we're going to go home with very satisfied bellies. To preface things, I'd like to begin by saying that my years at Callum High were not ones I fondly reminisce on. But they did teach me a few good lessons. That if you find real, true friends, anywhere can be the best place on earth. My friends, life is what you make it. You can either curl up in a ball and cry, or you can choose to laugh about it and find the joy in it. And there were definitely some funny times at Callum High. Miss Monica, I remember you used to tell us, you all will be the worst batch to come out of Callum High. Ma'am, I sincerely hope we've proved you wrong. And of course, how can I forget the highlights of our years? The end of the year concerts, where we put talcum powder on our hair and all of our parents thought we had dandruff. All the sports days, especially that one dreaded sports day where Amin Nirbabadi sprinted across the finish line, only to crash into the trophy stand and knock over every single cup, medal and other form of award on it. And how can I forget Miss Monica again? He used to dress code us every year for our fashionably ripped jeans at end of the year parties. Again, my years at Callum High were really not the best of my life. But the school itself and all of us have a bond, one that keeps every single person in this room interconnected. So I must say I'm surprised to see how many of you brought +1s, considering the last time someone was in a relationship in the school. Miss Monica told Sean and Sarah and the entire school student body to make sure that they were never in the same room together. Props to you guys, honestly, would not have the courage. Anyways, I'm not going to keep this too long because I know we all have to go home. So here's to the batch of 2020. Cheers! Next, I will be giving a persuasive speech at the Inter-House Debate 2023 at the Bishop School camp on the topic, social media is destroying our perception of mental health. Good morning everybody. My name is Freiya Havewala and today I'll be representing the Bishop's House on the topic, social media is destroying our concept of mental health. And I completely agree. How many of us have tweeted things like, oh, I'm so depressed, oh, I want to kill myself. Now all of these struggles are very real and very important, and they shouldn't be ones that we take lightly. Yet I'm sure all of us have made these jokes on our Instagram stories, Threads or Twitter at some point. In reality, depression and suicidal tendencies can completely destroy people and their families' lives. It is a horrible thing to happen to anyone, and I would not wish it on my worst enemy. And then again, thousands and thousands of people who accuse someone of gaslighting them simply because they said something happened when it didn't, or because somebody told a lie. My friends, gaslighting is an actual tactic that abusers use to make sure the victim has no sense of what is real and what is not. It can completely warp the victim's perception of reality it doesn't only invalidate the real struggles those people go through, but it also makes it 10 times harder for them to get the help they need because of the demonization that comes with that stereotype. My friends, social media is a wonderful place to talk about your thoughts and feelings. The internet is a brilliant creation, one that allows us to talk to people of all races, genders, sexualities, and other kinds of people. But we need to be careful about the type of information we spread on these apps. One wrong post can go viral and lead to thousands of people getting misinformed. We need to teach ourselves and teach other kids how to identify misinformation, how to research and find proper sources that discuss mental health, in order to make social media a safe space for us to discuss mental health without invalidating or saying that someone else's experiences aren't real. I rest my case. Thank you. Next, I will be telling a story to a group of 6 or 7-year-olds at a daycare. Okay, everybody, calm down, sit down. You want to keep screaming and running around like headless chickens, or would you rather listen to a lovely story? Good answer. Now, how many of you guys like dogs? Me too. They're like cutest things on the planet, right? Now this is Rusty. He's a dog, as you can see. He's a very close personal friend of mine. So close that he actually lives in my building. But this isn't a story about the grown-up, mature Rusty you see on the screen. No. This is the story of the days of Rusty's puppyhood when he was young, mischievous, and very, very irritating. It was a hot summer's day, and we decided that we needed to take our other dogs, Christy and Leah, to the vet because they'd been having some troubles with their eating and their diet. And we thought, it's so hot, we should let Rusty stay home. What could possibly go wrong? Spoiler alert, so many things went wrong. To begin with, as soon as the door shut, Rusty sprang to his feet, ready to do all the things a dog could do when his owners aren't home. First things first, he was hungry. Where were those biscuits he loved so much? They were far away from Rusty's reach, locked in a cupboard in a box. But hope was not lost. There, on the edge of the table, a bar of Cadbury Dairy Milk. It had been a birthday gift for me, and Rusty had often seen me eating thousands and thousands of them without giving him a single crumb. But finally, he would have his revenge. He ate the entire bar. He even ate some of the wrapper. There wasn't a crumb left for me. Now, after you eat a good meal and you're feeling full, you naturally want to sleep, right? And Rusty decided that too. But he didn't want to lie on the mat we'd given him. No, he wanted a far more comfortable bed. He jumped up on the sofa and began to nap. You might be thinking, but what's wrong with that, miss? It's okay if he jumps on the sofa for a few minutes. It would have been, only just before this, Rusty had taken a bath in the muddiest mud puddle a dog could find. My mother's couch had just been cleaned and it was already streaked brown with mud. Now after he woke up, Rusty decided, I'd like some entertainment. He'd often seen me on the TV with the remote, and he thought he could do it. Everyone would be impressed with him. But Rusty doesn't have fingers or thumbs like you and me. He had to use his teeth and his claws. And instead of switching on the TV, he destroyed the remote. This is a real my mother and I walked through the door. Rusty! We shrieked. I see my birthday chocolate, the wrapper strewn in little bits and pieces all across the floor. And my mother, my OCD mother, her white couch turned brown with Rusty's mud. Rusty was given a thorough slap. He was thrown out of the house. And while he was vomiting up the bits of plastic from the remote and bits of chocolate, he decided, staying home is overrated. Now my friends, as you also remember, rules are in place for a reason. Rusty didn't follow the rules and he ended up with a thorough whack, being thrown out of the house, puking up bits of something he wasn't supposed to eat, and a slap from his mother. And just like that, if you don't follow rules, you will also be punished. Maybe by some karmic force or by your mothers and fathers. And speaking of your mothers and fathers, it looks like they're here to pick you up. So everyone, please pack your bags. Don't forget anything. Let's go. Next, I will be giving 2 speeches for new speakers. One for a more adult audience and the second for a younger audience. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Freiya Havewala and you're listening to Media Critique. Today, we're going to talk about a specific type of media, biopics. More specifically, serial killer biopics. Now, in recent years, there's been a rise in this kind of media. With the true crime community and podcasts on a rise, studios are also in a rush to get their hands on the next big thing. And that recently has been having popular young male actors playing the roles of serial killers. Ones like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer, whose unspeakable acts of evil cannot be understated. Now, while true crime content is extremely interesting and fascinating from a psychological perspective, it can be extremely damaging for the victims' families to constantly have to relive how their loved one was murdered and to also see that same murderer be glorified over the internet by young teenagers. Studios need to be held accountable for this glorification. There's a massive difference between true, authentic stories like Believe Me, the story of Lisa McVeigh, which is an extremely fascinating story about how a girl escaped a serial killer and the ways she made sure he would be caught. And there's a difference between that and people using Zac Efron and Evan Peters to play deranged serial killers to attract young female fans. My friends, true crime was well and good to consume a few years ago, but since then, it's crossed far too many lines that it shouldn't have. And I believe that we, as consumers, need to step up and start making statements about what we're watching, why we're watching it, and to boycott studios that produce this kind of content to avoid more damages to the victims' families and to the psychological well-beings of young men who may take inspiration from this. That's all we have time for today, folks. But I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Thank you for listening. Hey! It's your favorite radio show host, one and only, occasionally entertaining, Freiya Havewala. And you're listening to Let's Talk About It. Now, we've been talking about a lot of movies and TV shows on here recently. Paper Rings by Taylor Swift. So, while true crime content is good and fun to consume, it's probably crossed way too many lines it probably shouldn't have. That's all we have time for today, folks. See you tomorrow, same time, same station. Bye. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it.